Well, sticking in somewhat similar territory, David Vonderhaar, who is one of the heads of Treyarch, which is one of the developers that makes Call of Duty games for Activision, has announced that he has left Activision and Treyarch after 18 years and 8 Call of Duty games. Wow. So it's kind of strange. He posted this, like, it hadn't, as far as I could tell, it hadn't been leaked or anything like that. And he just posted this statement on LinkedIn of all places, which I know a lot of stuff happens there, but it's always kind of weird when it's like, that's where the ground of the, breaking news is. Kind of thing. So he posted this statement. He said, "Today I'm sharing that I have left Activision and Treyarch after 18 incredible years and 8 Call of Duty games. To my coworkers at Treyarch, I'm immensely grateful for all the time we invested working together to improve our craft, never sitting on success, and always wondering how to improve and what we design and what we produce." And then he also went on to thank the Call of Duty community as well. He did say that he has something else that he's moving on to, but that he's not quite at a place where he can talk about that yet. I'm very curious what the next thing he's going to be doing is. Like, will he totally go outside the wheelhouse, or maybe even start his own thing, or will he move on to handle another shooter, or for another another publisher that has another shooter already going, and he's just going to come in for it? It'd be very curious.
I always want these guys to. Yeah, I always want these guys and gals to start their own thing because it feels like the shackles come off a little bit. Like when you've been in a company for so long and they do things a certain way, but then you get to I'm taking my talents to South Beach. And so you get to kind of do your own thing and hopefully, spread your wings and try some stuff that maybe were ideas that just weren't going to happen in a Call of Duty. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. And so really, I mean, when Call of Duty first started really getting popular with Modern Warfare, there was only 2 studios that were making Call of Duty games, and it was Treyarch and it was Infinity Ward. And when Jason West and Vince Zampella, which were running Infinity Ward, had their kind of issue and they're kind of falling out, and they ended up leaving Infinity Ward, really all the attention and all the not really accolades, but all the attention and all the heavy lifting kind of switched over to Treyarch, and people started paying way more attention to them. And David Vonderhaar was really the face of Call of Duty for a generation. There was a whole generation there that's who they associated Call of Duty with, even if it wasn't the one that was coming out in the rotation was a Treyarch game. So this is definitely something that is going to be a big loss for them, at least from a public, figure standpoint kind of thing. And just Call of Duty is not quite in the realm of Nintendo in that everybody just, they're so beloved and everything. There's definitely some back and forth why do we have these things and why do we have these perks and everything? But for the most part, I feel like most Call of Duty fans would say that they were big fans of David Vonderhaar, at least kind of being that figurehead and like to have him. He's definitely one of those, I think you see him and you're like, that's Dave Vonderhaar kind of thing.
I think it's hard because Call of Duty has 3 studios that make them, or is it just 2 still?
They had 3, kind of in a way. They have 4 because they have Infinity, what's left of Infinity Ward, the new version of Infinity Ward. They have Treyarch still, Sledgehammer Games, and then they also have Raven that kind of pitches in and moves around and helps on various ones.
And so it is that does make it a little different, right? Nintendo is like Nintendo,
sure,
but Call of Duty has all these branches and the people that did Modern Warfare 2 won't be doing Modern Warfare 3. You know what I'm saying? And so you have this back and forth because they're trying to pump out games every year. And they're like, okay, we're going to give this team 2 years to do this, 2 or 3, this team. And, they just kind of leapfrog each other. So, but yeah, I mean, onward and upward, for sure.